Hello, Chelsea fans. I'm your host, Nana Kumi. Today, we're going to be looking at the Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest game and why I think in that game, Marc Guiu showed enough to Maresca on why he should be starting as a striker. So, first off, in that first half, as Chelsea fans, that was probably one of the worst things we've seen in a while. Maybe besides from the Man United game, that was up there. So far this season, one of our worst starts. We were just giving away chances left and right. It was almost as if we Ange has had paid us to keep his job, to try and help him keep his job, because that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying our best to just give away goals to Nottingham Forest. We're losing the ball in our half, where Gibbs White will pick it up, almost scored. I don't know how he didn't score that or even hit the target. It was just a lot of flurry of chances for them, and they didn't capitalize. So I'm happy for that, but that's something that needs to be worked on. But in that second half, Maresca made a key change that I think really swung the game into our hands. Because in that first half, if I'm not mistaken, we had Andre Santos playing as the 10, and to be quite honest, he was really nowhere to be found. He's kind of letting the game pass him by. I don't blame him because the pivot was Lavia, which I highly rate, but he was paired with Gusto, who is not a defensive mid. These inverting, these experiments, they just gotta stop. We have so many defensive, we have so many midfielders. Why can't we just play them in their actual positions instead of trying to right back in a defensive mid position? If it was Reece James, I understand because Reece James is world class. He could do it all. But we cannot be doing that. But that's a video for another day. But that's what those was causing us problems in the first half. Our midfield wasn't like doing getting the job done. We're just getting overran, uh, losing the ball in the middle, causing them to just get chances on chances on chances, which they didn't capitalize on. But when Marc Guiu got brought on for when he got brought on for Andre Santos, João Pedro dropped in a 10, right? And then Marc Guiu played as a striker. And that is, besides the goals that João Pedro has scored so far for Chelsea, I think that was one of his good showings so far in the past 3 games that he's played for Chelsea. Because we all know João Pedro's at his best when he is dropping deep into midfield, getting the ball and playing, linking up with others, right? Linking up play with like maybe a striker, but we haven't been seeing a lot of that so far because he's been the 9, and don't get me wrong, he's a good 9, but we're missing so much from his game. That creativity, that ball carrying has been missing because he has to play up top, and he's getting less touches on the ball. Um, in the past 3 games, he barely gets more than like 10, 15 touches per game. Why is our most creative player on the field getting that many few touches in a game? That makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. He has to be the one touching the ball the most when Palmer is not there. And this went to show when he came into the midfield, even in the first half, right? When he would drop in and get the ball, he made a very good ball. He played in a very good ball into Andre Santos, which led to 1v1, which I'm surprised he wasn't able to capitalize on. But in the second half, we saw more of that, right? When Marc Guiu came in, there was more space for João Pedro to work with because once Marc Guiu came into the game, he was able to stretch the pitch, right? He was able to occupy those 2 center backs. And now their focus can be just solely on João Pedro. They have to worry about Marc Guiu, making sure that he doesn't make a run in behind, making sure that too they don't get caught too far deep defending. So now like they're caught in 2 minds, right? So this created a good amount of chances for us. Margu's playing style is kind of similar to, not kind of, it's really very similar to um, Liam Delap's, although he might not be as clinical as Liam Delap, but they're like that strong 9 that will hold up the ball, and I feel like that complements João Pedro a lot, right? João Pedro's stats so far. He averages around like 1.8 key passes per 90 and have over 3 successful dribbles. Why were we wasting that? While when having him up top, he wasn't able to do that. He wasn't able to get those touches, right? He wasn't able to make those dribbling. But once he dropped into the midfield, we saw how the game started opening up for us, right? Now he's able to dictate play. They can't come mark him all the way into the midfield because now Marc Guiu is wide open and he could get in, right? So this was creating a lot of chances for us. This was creating a lot of chances for our midfield, period. And that's what I really, really enjoyed watching, right? It brightened João Pedro's game, and that's what I want to see more. I want to see excuse me, I want to see Marc Guiu start more games as a striker, which will allow João Pedro to unlock his creativity, right? Gives him more chances to pick out a pass, killer pass for Marc Guiu to finish. Marc Guiu might not be the finished product yet, but we have to give him reps. We brought him in for a reason. We can't just have him on the bench while we're playing Tyree George, who's not a striker as a striker. It makes no sense. Like this makes no sense at all. So my big takeaway from that game is Marc Guiu must start. He needs to start. And that needs to happen in the Sunderland game and in the Ajax game. We need to see him starting. If we do see him starting, I think not I think, I know what João Pedro could do. João Pedro is going to create a lot more chances and probably get back on his goal scoring form, and that's going to help us a lot. That's what we need right now while Palmer is not here. So that's just a little bit of what I wanted to get off my mind after watching that game. That's what really out of the whole game, that's what I took out that game because there wasn't in that first half, like I said, there wasn't much to take out of, but those subs bringing in Marguerite really, really brighten up our game, and I believe that's going to be a strong spot for us going forward until we get Liam Delap back. Thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna post some more videos, probably after the Ajax game, and then also after the Sunderland game. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, Chelsea fans. Like and subscribe. See you later.